Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of How to Draw Anything. My name is Debbie, and I work for San Mateo County Libraries. And you would normally find me at the Millbury Bridge. And we also are joined by...
Hello, my name is Lynn. I also work for the San Mateo County Library System. You may recognize my face from the Belmont branch or maybe from some of the other art programs that we've been streaming online. And I guess this counts as a challenge doodle.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have we're trying something a little bit different. Today, Lynn is going to be drawing, and she's going to be drawing something that we don't even know what she's drawing yet. Because what we're going to use is a word generator, an online word generator. So we're gonna kind of just go with the random words that get thrown at Lynn, and then she's going to draw something from those three words.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make a character essentially out of whatever random words our prompt generator gives us. So the one we're using, we're going to choose one word from three different categories: a place, a person, and a feeling. So hopefully that will give us enough of a basis to make an art piece of, at least a sketch of one.
Yes. So are you ready for the
I am
word
very
generator?
ready.
Okay.
I am.
All right.
I'm placing all my hopes and dreams into it.
Okay. Here's our word generator. It's called the Game Gal, family-friendly word generator. We're choosing subjects here, and then we're going to choose people. Okay. Are you ready for your first prompt?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm clicking on new word. The word is hobo. Do you want a new one, or you want to keep it? Let's get a new one.
Let's get a new one.
Okay. King.
Oh, the complete opposite spectrum. Okay.
Yeah. You want to try that? Okay. King. Okay, that's your person. We're also going to place.
Yes.
King in Michigan.
I don't know anything about Michigan.
Okay, should we change it to a new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Easter Island.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I can't do that accurately, but I can at least...
We can wing that, I think. And then feelings and emotions. Here we go. Thankful.
How interesting. Okay.
Thankful King, Easter Island. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Give it a shot.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're just going to see what happens.
I'm excited.
It will be a journey. Okay. I guess I will go with this one. I don't think I've used this one in a while. Yeah. Okay. A thankful king on Easter Island. First, see if I can remember what those things even really look like.
The big heads, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that those big Easter Island heads have bodies and they're just buried underground?
Really?
I learned this maybe about a year ago. Somebody actually excavated, below their shoulders, and they actually go all the way down to their feet.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, so they just got, I think...
Slightly creepy.
Yeah, just over time. They're so old that, I guess over time, erosion or something like that, and sediment just covered all the way up to their shoulders.
Huh. I feel like the thing that I remember, I didn't fact check it to be fair, but I do vaguely remember reading that the way they got to the places they were was that they were walked.
Huh?
So, like, if I recall correctly, and again, I didn't fact check this, but it was one of those things where there's a lot of like little moments of like historians looking back at things people did and being like, how did they do that? The way they described it is they walked the statues, but what does that even mean?
Yeah.
It quite literally means, if I recall correctly, they had the giant slab of stone,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had like little things to lift it with, and they just shuffled it along.
What? What? That's funny.
It was something like that. I could be very, very wrong, but
I mean, I guess that would make sense since they do have feet.
yeah. I wonder how they got so far underground. That seems like a lot of erosion.
I know, right? I'm pretty sure that's what the thing was. It unless they were buried. I'll have to look that up. Now I want to look it up. Can I look it up while you draw?
Yeah, I'm very tempted to try and get reference for what these statues actually look like. I have like the vaguest memory, and I think I'm picturing a Pokemon more than I'm picturing
Oh, really?
Stonehenge. So right now I'm just trying to sketch out a vague idea of a portrait, basically, like a proper picture.
Nice.
Because the way you take prompts can vary quite wildly. Like, you can take it to give you just a vibe of what you want your picture to be like, or you can make it something a little more literal. So I'm kind of picturing this as being almost like an artsy poster.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like one of those things where you have the character and you have like more symbolic details in the background. Like, he's on Easter Island. It's not necessarily a realistic portrait of
Yeah.
Easter Island. It's more about turning it into a symbol of a story somehow. Especially, like, if you use like a random word generator, that can be a fun way of using, if you do it the same way we did, of using like what the feeling of the piece is. Like, it can be both the emotion the character is expressing, or it can be the general atmosphere. And there's different ways of trying to figure out, like, how do you express the feeling of thankfulness artistically?
Yep.
So you don't have to be like as artsy fartsy about it as I'm like making it out to be, but this is sort of the approach that immediately popped into my head.
And there's so many ways you could interpret those words too. You know, everybody's gonna have some kind of different interpretation of what it.
And depending on the other details, like the way in which you express a royal king being thankful may be very different than how you would express a hobo being thankful.
Right. Easter Island could be an island full of bunny rabbits and, and Easter eggs.
That's very true. I could have done that. I went for the actual historical site. But. See. That's better. Okay. My opacity was way down for some reason. I don't remember setting it like that. As per usual, I'm starting with the things I like to draw the most.
Yeah, the person. Yeah. So
I know what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. The Easter Island statues are known as moai. And they've documented at least 887 of them.
Oh, wow. I don't suppose you have a picture.
Oh, yes, I can totally get you a picture.
You're always able to use reference in your challenges, unless your challenges did not use reference, but even then.
I mean, if you want, like, let's see. Good picture. So I'm gonna put this on the screen. So that's like your typical, right? And then on the, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry. And on the, what was that? The left is the one with the body.
Oh, wow. Nose, brow, eye. Okay, I can use that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've really gone into something that demonstrates using reference, hasn't it? That was
Yeah,
a
it has been a while.
big thing early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and keep this fairly quick as a sketch, so you may want to keep a closer eye on the time.
Yep. It's been about 10 minutes so far.
Okay. But once I get to trying to flesh those guys out a little further, maybe I can briefly touch on what you just saw me do in terms of how I gave myself a reference point. Because the Easter Island statues are one of those things where you may have like a vague mental image of, but don't really know how to approach. And sometimes the amount of time you actually have to look at your reference isn't very long, like especially if you're doing just general people studies. Like, they're a little more difficult to do in the current atmosphere, but a great pastime of like just how to gain some expertise in art, especially with people, is to just people watch and do very, very quick like portrait sketches of them. Not like anything where you've like asked them to sit and stay, just you see them, you observe the most basic strokes of what you feel defines them as a recognizable person, and that is the entirety of your drawing. And that gives a great basis to then kind of start translating into your own version of like how you may approach drawing caricatures and people, and like what details you can include to differentiate your characters from one another just by observing people out and about, and just how quickly can you sketch a portrait of who you think they are in that moment that you happen to see them sitting at a coffee table or browsing a bookshop.
I actually attended a live virtual figure drawing class.
That's the proper term for it.
Yeah. And it was family friendly, so it was fun. Like, you know, kids could join in too. And it's like I just realized there aren't a lot of opportunities for kids figure drawing, or figure drawing just for all ages. Having a live model. That'd be interesting. Maybe we can do that in the future. If we can find a model.
Yeah, I imagine being a model is both a very easy and very difficult job.
Actually, yeah, to be in that pose for...
Yeah, all you do is strike a pose, but then you gotta hold that pose. Because people need to be able to reference your pose. Moving, they have lost the pose.
And it was a fun model because she dressed up like an alien. So it was a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Our grateful king, whose outfit I don't really know what to do with beyond armor.
Wonder what he's grateful of.
Yeah.
Thankful that he made it to Easter Island.
Maybe. The presence of such great historical art. Okay, that's good enough for a body. Okay, so the thing I did when Debbie showed that picture was draw a very, very messy, quick sketch of what I saw just in terms of what basic shapes that I want. And you'll notice that the thing I'm planning on drawing is not at that same angle as the picture that we referenced. So what my goal is to do is to sort of try and recognize what shapes I made that how they would translate in 3D space as you rotate them. So for instance, I already kind of have the vague basis of this, but I didn't really know what the details were. But in this case, the Easter Island heads are pretty much slightly sloped down rectangle heads with a push out, with like an extra piece that pushes out of them for the nose, an extra piece that pushes out for kind of the brow, and a section that sort of pushes out for the mouth. So when you move from profile to a front-facing view, you're going to have some line of detail for the eyebrow, some line of detail for the nose, and some line of detail for the mouth, because those are what protrude forward when you're viewing it from the side. So it's not going to necessarily be the most accurate of versions, but using reference, especially when it's not precisely the picture you are looking for, is very much all about sort of understanding what you're looking at and trying your best to reason out how you think those lines and shapes would change or behave differently if you were viewing them from a different angle based on what type of shapes and lines they are. So in this case, we know, or we can at least kind of suss out that the Easter Island statue heads are probably skinnier on the side than they are when facing front. And so you're still drawing a rectangle, but you're drawing it at a different width than if it was just the profile. So those are sort of my general reasoning outs.
That's pretty
a bit of a logic game.
Yeah. That looks good.
And you can also always do your best to just sort of focus on simplifying the shapes themselves, like the nose and the brow may not be that much of a rectangle. But when you're just kind of looking at it, its basic shape is more or less a rectangle, so you still get the general gist of what you're drawing. I feel like his face is judging the king. Either that or he's like magically stoic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna erase a few. Go ahead and erase these just so I have the clean slate. But normally it's a little more ideal to have your reference in a place where you can continue to reference it. But in this case, I've drawn one Easter Island head. The other one's just going to be that again. So I can now just use that as my reference rather than the original little profile sketch.
So I looked it up. It is due to shifting soils and sediment. They got buried.
Interesting.
Yep. So I guess it's a long time of
Yeah.
sediment building up.
Some loose land that they lived on.
And about 150 of them are kind of buried in this way. So there's a lot more that are not buried, I guess.
Okay. Interesting. I just kind of like the expression these guys have.
I like it too.
If I had time to actually like really go in and color it, like the way I'm sort of picturing things is, I suppose it's okay to sort of reference it like this, kind of like how in more like medieval, especially religious art, they have like the really exaggerated like rays of light and sunshine and whatnot radiating behind like important figures and things. So in my mind, the background is that version of like just rays of light all radiating out. This guy is very, very glad to be where he is.
Aww.
All right, a thankful king on Easter Island. A very sketchy version of it, but that's how all drawings start.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's where they end too. It can be fun just to do like little concept sketches like this.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
this could be like a big epic poster for something.
Yeah.
Or it can just live like this.
Mhm.
Let's see, how much time has it been?
It's been about 20 minutes now.
Okay. I might very, 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 very quickly see about just blocking out my idea of how it would be colored. Whatever. I said very, very quickly and then immediately had the instinct of like, but I need that line to be clean. But no,
Oh.
that's not what we're here for right now.
These drawing prompts, are really just, for inspiration, just to, if you're feeling stuck and you get, intimidated by that blank sheet of paper, you can use that word generator and, just get some pencils down to the paper.
Yeah, and it's a great way to come up with just random stories, random characters. It's all about just like, how does it spark your imagination? Where do you want to go with this idea? Like, other folks may have heard Thankful King Easter Island and came to a very different conclusion than what I did.
I was thinking of the king of, the Easter Bunny Island. And I would draw a bunny king.
That would also be very cute.
Probably has an egg on the end of his scepter. But yeah, like you can, even if you draw something that you're like, this is weird, like it's not quite, what you want to draw, but you might find something that you like from your drawing, and then you can use that as inspiration. For example, like, Lynn was commenting how she really likes the expression of how the Moai statues look, right? And you could use that, like, oh, I could use that on some other character. I can use, that kind of expression or that type of look on something completely different that's not a Moai statue. But you use that as inspiration for other stuff too. And that's why we always encourage you all to, just sketch and draw. Like, even if it's not something that, that you really want to draw, but you can find some really interesting things just when you draw anything.
Yeah, it's all just about playing around. Like, you'll never know what you might land on.
Exactly. Just like all our other episodes of, doing our doodle challenge of, just scribbling weird shapes first and coming out with like these fun characters that we never knew before. Stuff always comes out of it.
Yeah, you never know where you might end up, and that is really half the fun.
I once came up with the character that I draw a lot. His name is Bumper Boy. And Bumper Boy came from a drawing of these kids that were in snow gear, like heavy snow suits, like heavy jackets, and they looked like little marshmallows. And after I drew those kids in the snow gear, I came up with Bumper Boy, which is like very much not a character in snow gear, but it was inspired by those kids. Completely different, but it kind of jogged something in my imagination.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it's like, one of those happy accidents, right?
trying not to take too long with this, but
I have a few more minutes.
yeah, I think I just want a gray for the statues. I'm also cheating in that these are all pre-chosen colors for a different palette. So
Oh yeah.
I know that they all relatively go together. So I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be that yellow. This is gonna be that purple. Like I don't have to choose which one. It's just that one now. If we have time, I can add my final detail,
Ooh.
which will be, of course,
Ooh.
the sparkles.
Oh yes. I was like, what is it? What is it?
It's how you know the drawing is done.
Yay.
Yay.
So cute. That's cool. I like your composition.
I guess they're slightly grayer. A wise old king who's doing whatever it is he's doing in Easter Island, but he's glad to be there.
He's really, really, really happy. Maybe it's his lifelong dream, his childhood dream to visit Easter Island.
He did it.
Yay!
Yay! Random prompt generator.
Yay! Good job, Lynn.
That was very random and very fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Sorry, I want his pants to be a different color.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just a slight differentiation. Okay. Okay. I will call it there. Okay.
Awesome. Nice. I like how, you took those 3 simple words and came out with this.
Hey.
Woohoo!
You never know where you may end up.
Mhm.
It would have been very different if Debbie did it, and that's part of the fun.
Exactly. And we're wondering how you would do it too if you took those 3 words.
Mm-hmm.
What did you draw?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you do happen to do the random word generator challenge, and maybe or you use the words that that Lynn got when we spun, you can share your drawings with us too. You can tag us at SMC Libraries on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or you can use the hashtag SMCLCreates. We'd love to see what you drew, what you came up with. And then also, you can always go to smcl.org to see all the different content that we're providing for you, whether it's in our virtual programs or tech assistance or, gosh, what else? Our ebooks, curbside pickup, so much stuff you can do.
We have a lot of things still going on.
Yes, your library is still open online. Also, if you want to watch all our past episodes from How to Draw Anything, you can also go to smcl.org or go to our YouTube page just to see all those back episodes. All right, but I think that's about it.
Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you had fun. I know I did. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.